Hello everyone, welcome to Trains on Tuesday. Sorry about last week, I just couldn't get it together in time. Anyway, this week I've got my Class 33, I think that is, yeah, Class 33 running with a couple of Great Western coaches and the three Hornby coaches that I had mentioned when I got back from Chilliwack, the Red Knight, the Green Knight and Pendragon. I found out more about the prototype on those. I haven't found out much about the models. I don't know anything about the models at all really, but the prototype, they are or were part of the West Coast Railway fleet, West Coast Railway Company fleet. So they're chartered. So here we are today, we're running a Great Western themed charter around as I talk to you. Now today we are going to look at a few bits and pieces that I got out of that box of stuff that Ryan gave me. Now if you're not familiar with that video, it's my November 4th video, 2025, Trains on Tuesday. So it was only a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, amongst that, I got some bits and pieces here. And we'll have a look at these close up in a moment. Three walls of a log cabin. There's only one window frame, but two window holes, two window openings. I found the roof off of something else. And I actually think these are N scale. But I think we can do something with them. So I'll give you a close-up look, and during the course of the video, I'll get it put together the way I think will work, and we'll take a look at it. Anyway, that's going to be fun. Close-up look at that in a moment. Also, we're going to take a very brief look at this box of stuff that I just got. That's all trying stuff. Some of it quite old, some of it quite interesting. I'm not sure that I got a great deal on it. Maybe I did. As I get working into it, I'll probably be quite happy with it. It's all extremely dirty and dusty right now, but anyway, we'll take a brief look at that today. So let's get to work. So here's the bits and pieces of the building. Just partial pieces. It's covered in glue. It had been poorly put together when it was together, and I think it's N scale. And I also found in that packet a roof that I think will fit. So I'm going to get to work on that. Well, there we go guys. There's the little log cabin project sitting in behind the farm. It'll get blended into that hill when that hill gets completed. And I think that looks okay. Okay, now we're going to take a look in this box and see what I got here. A recent purchase. I got quite a bit of Series 3 track there, and an even bigger pile of standard track. Now this is acetate, and some of it has shrunk a bit from what I can determine, but it's actually not too bad, and it's all very clean rail. good and shiny. I got a left-hand Super 4 turnout. It's good, except it's missing the little spring down here that holds the points in place, so they're a little bit on the loose side. I think I may have one that's damaged in other ways that I can get a spring out of. Anyway, there's that, and there's a few bits of loose rail and 3 Series 3 turnouts. Now, one of them's quite badly damaged here. The rail is over, and they've all had the levers pushed flat. They still operate, but they've been pushed flat. Those white pieces should stand upright. Anyway, that's the first part out of the box. There's various other bits and pieces. They were in a bag. There's some lamp poles there. No lights in them. And that one's missing its base, but I do believe they are trying. And there's some Airfix figures, including a man riding a Vespa moped. And that was a station sign. It's missing its legs. A toilet building, missing a roof. Some Series 3 point motor covers, just the covers. Some rail joiners, fish plates. This is a handy little piece here out of a motor, and it's got a couple of, albeit well worn, carbon brushes. They'll probably be useful. A couple of lever frames here. Good potential, some wires with the proper trying plugs on the end. This here is an X404, sorry, I can get the focus. An X404 point motor, so that's for Series 4 or Super 4 track, and it works, well, I don't know if it works, but it looks to be in good shape. Now, one of the interesting items in there was this Triangle Railway Servicing Scheme, and this is the 9th edition, it says. So if anybody knows when the 9th edition was printed, I'd like to know, because for all of Canada this lists one address and it doesn't even say what city it's in, but I assume it's Toronto. There was a set of platform steps and 2 curved platform sections, and also a complete set of flyover piers for standard track. Very nice to have. The power equipment included was a PS or P5C, I'm sorry, P5C power pack with an auxiliary DC. Now the auxiliary DC, I'll turn around, we'll have a look. If we can see that there, there's 15 volt DC controlled output. That is controlled by the controller here. And then there's 15 volt DC uncontrolled output, and that gets wired from those 2 terminals over to this controller, and then this can operate another track. This is not a power pack. We're going to take a closer look at that in a moment. And then down below we've got 18 volt AC output. So this is my second one of these, I think, if not third, that I've got here. Now this one here is broken, and unfortunately the safety cover is missing off the bottom. Mind you, it's only 12 volts or 15 volts at the most that would be in here, so it's not that serious, but Where it's broken is there's a wire disconnected right there. I think once that one's soldered on there, it'll probably work just fine. So with that power pack, I can work 2 separate tracks. Pretty handy to have. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, this was the system that I started out with back in 1958. Was these. This particular power pack came along a little later, I think. When I first got one of these, I had to run it off a 12-volt car battery, and I killed a battery in an afternoon, so it wasn't too long before I was provided with a mains plug-in controller. Now both of these do have some issues. That should come to a stop right there. There's a stop on there, but it doesn't. It goes right on by, and it should also come to a stop against this one over here, but it goes right on by. So anyway, that's okay, not too bad. Now this one, yeah, I don't know how old this is, but all of this stuff is very dirty, by the way. Gonna take some cleaning. I do want to show you the plug on the bottom end of it, or the other end of the wire here. This thing is 1940s or 50s equipment. Wonderful to have that. I have plugged it in, and it does appear to work. It hums away just as it should. So anyway, there's some writing on there. I can't see what it says. It says it can take 250 volts. Yeah, same on the other one. Nothing to indicate when it was made, but I'm quite sure that dates back to the 40s or 50s. Okay, we'll get into the rolling stock. Okay, 3 locos in there. This one's a dummy. It does have the skirt on the front though. Pretty good. Well worn finish on here. There's very little left of the decals off the front. These are Mark II couplers. That dates it somewhat. I would say pre-60 or 61. This is a power unit. It's missing the front pilot skirt, as I called it. That one does not run, but I think a good servicing will take care of that. Now this one, this is my 4th one of these, except this one's a little different. On the power bogie at the front here, we've got the Mark III couplers, but on the back end it's got the Mark II couplers. So this is a bit of a hybrid. This one looks really good underneath. It looks very clean. It looks to be in really nice shape, but it doesn't run either. And that one I'm a little concerned about, because when I attach power directly to the carbon brushes, the motor turns about 1/3 of a turn. So I'm wondering if I have a loco with a broken winding. Well, we'll find out when I get into it. But there's something else about that loco, and I'm wondering if anybody can see it or guess what it might be. I'll reveal, for those that don't know or don't see it, I'll reveal that in the comments, in my answers to comments. Now all of these freight cars have the Mark II couplers on. That kind of dates them. And they've got cast metal trucks or bogies. That kind of dates them too, and this style of bogie wasn't around very long before they switched to a different one. This one, this caboose, my initial thoughts on that were it's in great shape. The chimney's still there and the steps are there, and then I noticed that the end of the roof walk is broken off there and one of the steps is missing. But this is one of the very early ones that had an extremely poor turning radius due to the steps. The style of bogie or truck and the steps, extremely limited turning radius, and it made it difficult on some of the early trackage. Okay, now this is the one that really took my fancy in here. I've been looking for one of these in good condition for a long time, and I finally got one. This has a hatch on the bottom and gear to trip it and to bring it back up again. Oops. I'm sorry, I keep looking at what I'm talking about instead of looking through the camera. Anyway, this looked to be really good until I got in here and found that half a wheel is missing. Half a wheel gone. So I'm going to have to find a wheel for that. And then this one, again, looks very nice at a first glance. Metal bogies again, or trucks. Mark II couplers. But then I see that it's broken at the end there. And at the other end a little piece broken off. And this one is completely missing a wheel. So I'll be digging into my spare parts for those. And finally, a little bit of passenger stock. This is my second one of these, but it is different because it's got the Mark II couplers on, and the other ones I've got I think have Mark I or Mark III couplers on. So, Triangle Railways baggage car, Triangle Railways dome car. Pretty nice condition actually, these. Just dirty. They're going to need a clean. And then there's this one. Again, Triangle Railways, and this is the observation car. But this is the first one of these I have. I think in the all grey. I don't think I've got, well, I might have a set in the all grey, but I don't know if they've got the Mark II couplers on. Anyway, that's it. That's my goodies that I came across at the hobby shop. Some second-hand stuff taken in. There's all the rolling stock, and then there's, as I say, the track and bits and pieces and controllers. So we'll finish off today with a little running again of the Class 33 and the West Coast Railway excursion train, and we'll watch it go by the little abandoned log cabin up in the woods. Here we go.